So yeah, just basic questions.
Never done this. Never done this.
I did this once at the art show. That shit was on the spot. I was nervous as fuck.
So,
my name is Trenn Williams.
Oh, I thought you were gonna continue.
What else am I gonna say about my name?
My name is Trenn Williams. My name is Josh Maikis.
You're 100% right.
Oh shit, my fault.
Actually, just let him go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. You should leave that in.
You caught me in the business cleaning my glass.
My name is Josh Maikis. I'm a comic artist, illustrator from New Jersey.
And I am Trenn Williams. I am also an illustrator and comic book artist. You can like say where you would like find us at, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You can find me on Trenn Williams Art and also Urban Elite Comics on Instagram.
So,
Yeah.
So it just sounds like it's straight through.
All right, cool. We do this over again.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, well, my name is Trenn Williams. I am also a comic book artist and illustrator, and you can find me on Trenn Williams Art and Urban Elite Comics on Instagram.
And you can find me also, let me just shout out my Insta, Josh Maikis Art, and my TikTok, Josh Maikis Art. This is the first time we've worked together on anything.
Oh, we all work out together.
Right now, we have a book. It's called Nightmare Nexus. It's actually out on Kickstarter right now. You can find it there, but it's a horror sci-fi anthology, and it's featuring me, Trenn, and a few other artists that we've met through social media or like art school. Yeah. The book itself, each person is like its own type of story, right? For instance, I don't want to speak on his thing, but his is different than mine, you know? Mine.
Talk about it.
What, yours?
Yeah.
All right.
About it. So mine is the life of Jimmy Mars. So basically, it's about a guy who is a guitar player, and he's in a band, and he wants to make it bad by any means necessary. So basically, he ends up making a deal with the devil. So his life basically changed after that. But that's all I can say about it.
Okay. What about yours?
Mine's called Isolated. I came up with the story or the character during like pandemic. So it's kind of like based around like it's almost like kind of like retro horror underground comics meets like Walking Dead, but like sci-fi, you know? So my comics is just basically this guy, like a normal day of this apocalyptic world going about his stuff, and then something happens and he's got to go back home and figure out what's going on, and it's a lot. It's a cool story.
Like in a way like campy, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to sound like if you had some type of encounter with Monkey Paw production.
Back when Get Out first came out, I was a second year in school, and we just had a project to do like our own like comic book, not even comic book, just like a sort of like pinup poster for like a movie that we really liked, and Get Out just came out. And I'm like, oh shit, like I kind of want to do that. That was a dope movie. Like I was such a fan of it, like literally decoding all the hidden stuff. Like I would go online and look up Jordan Peele stuff. But I just tagged him one day, and Jordan Peele reposted me. It got a bunch of likes, comments, follows off that. And then I got hit up by, I think it was NBC Universal, just asking if I wanted to be part of this like coffee table art book for the movie and stuff with other artists. And yeah, that was my first time I got printed in like some sort of like art book.
I love creating. And when you look into comics, you realize that a lot of stories are repetitive, or you don't really find yourself in these comics. So I feel as though it's very important for you to have some type of relation to the stories that you're reading. For instance, with mine, with Urban Elite Comics, I'm from Irvington, so I'm having a superhero based out in Irvington telling stories from Irvington and like Newark, Hillside, all around New Jersey. So I want to be more relatable to my viewers.
What drives me to keep going is just definitely like, I think the payoff in the long run is just like showing your creative, like your creative side with other people too, and hopefully inspire other people too, to do what you want to, be what you want to see out there.
Mm-hmm. So most of who inspires y'all? Who specifically like artists or like writers or who inspire y'all to make comics as well?
I feel like comic book wise, I have a whole list, but I try not to like really like focus too much on other people's work while doing mine. It's definitely good to get like different ideas from other people. I feel like you have to see what's out there and what you could be doing. But I kind of like just like go a lot of like independent like stuff. One of my favorite artists, his name is Charles Burns. He's really good. I really like John Romita Jr., who's done Spider-Man and stuff. I really love his storytelling. Frank Miller. I could the Hernandez brothers that do Love and Rockets. It's a comic basically in the 1980s. Same type of vibe, like different like stories within a magazine in like their own world, you know. But
well, just like him, I look at a lot of independent artists, more so independent black artists. Can't really say names, 'cause I'm not good with names, but there's a company called Godhood Comics. They did the Antagonist, and about a black family with a father and a mother are like villains and everything. So it's a very dope story. And also Maikis Williams, which is, that's one of the first artists that really caught my eye. When I was going to the Kubrick school my freshman year, he actually viewed my artwork and everything. So yeah, just like him looking at independent, because the mainstream is all the same somewhat. They want you to look a certain way. Independence, you have more of a variety and to look different and stand out because you're different.
Exactly.
What brings you back in as an independent artist with just saying, you know, forget it, I can't do this, I'm gonna give up? I think it's just the love of wanting to create, because I love creating. I love designing characters. And when you see stuff like real life or listening to music, you see certain illustrations in your head and it just awakens self-motivation within you. So yeah, I love creating. So that's what keeps me going, even though you do have those moments where you just want to give up and throw the book at the wall or something, but you just got to keep pushing.
What motivates me to keep going, right? I feel like for me, it's just I've come a long way already. I have to pay a lot of student loans for art school, so definitely need to get some money on that. But also I think what motivates me is like definitely myself too. Like I just gotta keep pushing like every day. I feel like this is like I'm drawing like when I'm sitting on the couch at home. I'm drawing like when I'm really bored. I'm drawing whenever moment I have. So it's just a part of me too. But also my wife, she's very supportive of everything right now. She's gotta be, cause like right now, like I feel so bad if she sees this too. You know, she'll agree. Yeah, and my family too. They definitely supported me through this, especially like. Who tells their family, like, I want to be a comic artist? Like, you know, there's not much of that. Exactly. Exactly.
Like, you have points in life where you're like, oh yeah, I'm fucking like doing great. What you're doing like, right now? Or you're like more so like, do you have like points where, let's say, you feel like you can actually do this?
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it was like when I first sold like my first thing. Oh yeah. For me, the first time I sold like the first piece of my own art was definitely like, oh shit, like I could do this. But then that didn't prove to be true at first. But then I think like just having a lot of like connections with people on social media too. And people just like from all over the world like actually like comment or like follow you, and other artists too, like that you've seen online or like that you interact with, like they're talking to you now and stuff, and like or they like your work too. It just kind of makes you like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could definitely keep doing this. Like, yeah.
For me, I will say surprisingly, because we both went to the Kubrick school, Dover, New Jersey.
We were roommates too.
Yeah, second year we was roommates. So
my third year.
Yeah, your third year. But my third year, we actually had portfolio reviews with Marvel and Valiant Comics, and surprisingly, Marvel actually messed with some of my artwork, including Valiant Comics. So that was definitely, helping me out and making me think that I am on the right path. And also we're working on my own company called Urban Elite Comics and actually building a team. Finally, getting people that are actually serious about the same thing that I'm on and everything. So with building this and having so many people cheering you on and also behind you and waiting for your comic to drop, because I'm working on my first comic called The Knights. So yeah, with doing all of that, I feel as though I'm on the right path because I keep popping out with so many ideas and so many stories and introducing new characters and side characters and everything. So I feel as though I'm on the right path because I have such a big vision for this. I can't even really say when I got into comics, but because I was mostly into cartoons first. Saturdays, UPN9 had like Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four. So I was mostly into the cartoons first and then the action figures. So I want to say maybe preteen. I think I got into comics.
You know what specific got you into it?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man was my first favorite superhero.
Oh, yeah.
Second was Superman. So Spider-Man comics definitely, got me drawn in. Cause back then with the Marvel Legend action figures, a comic used to come with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely opened my eyes to that.
That was cool stuff.
Word. I need to bring it back.
How about you?
What first got me into comics was probably like cartoons, like definitely the Batman animated series. I definitely love the Spider-Man cartoons, Superman. But I think my first ever comic book that I read was a Superman versus Looney Tunes comic.
What?
It was weird. 90s stuff, kids WB.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mixoplick, that villain, he like messed up the universe. It was like 4 issues, but my dad got me the last issue. That was the last issue was the first issue I read.
That sounds pretty lit though.
So it was pretty cool just seeing all that 90s superhero stuff. But I've been reading comics, I feel like my whole life, and currently I still am, but I gotta sell like more than half my collection right now. Gotta get that money in so I can move,
Facts.
Where's your collection?
My collection of comics is probably like 30 boxes, like white boxes. So they hold about like 120 comics in their box. So yeah.
What's your favorite thing in the collection?
My favorite thing?
Like, favorite comic in the collection?
I have too many. That's why I have that many.
Is the one that stands out?
For me, one of the comics that stands out is probably I don't know. One of my favorite comics as a kid that was like my holy grail was Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man #1, where he's like in the web and like you had to count how many spiders were in the web. I think that was my favorite comic because like I think his style really drew me into that independent like gritty horror style, and you could like make it your own with like superheroes too.
You got a collection too?
It's a bunch of random comics. My collection, I have from Spider-Man, I have from Power Rangers, Batman, Justice League, Teen Titans. Yeah, so it's very random.
So the comic book that we're putting out right now called Nightmare Nexus on Kickstarter, it's all done already. It's gonna be like printed. I'm trying to get it. That's what we're trying to fund is the printing and to ship it to people and just have a little money in our pocket, which we're probably not gonna make too much like that, but it's just to get our
Win is a win.
Exactly. It's definitely just to get our stuff out there and just showcase our work. But it's going to be printed like on old school newspaper style. We're hoping like newsprint. But it's going to be all black and white, gray. It's really cool. I think it speaks to like that underground comic scene and like just retro movies and horror and sci-fi.